Hello, good people. I hope you are good. I'm good too. Today, I would like to talk about politics of South Africa. It's voting season. It's a voting time again in South Africa. So, in my view, I think there's four political parties that are big in South Africa, namely ANC, EFF, DA, and MK, the newcomers. Okay, in this video I'm gonna try to analyze about my opinions. Okay, my opinions will be on who should we vote for and why, what we need to do, what we need to be aware about. Okay, firstly, let me start with the ANC. The ANC, I don't think any reasonable person will be willing to vote for ANC. I'm not saying people mustn't vote for ANC, but in my opinion, ANC has failed this country because they've been in power for 30 years and they've did less and less and less and less things in that 30 years. So we've seen all sort of things in their tenure. We've seen a lot of things bad, mostly corruption. That's the most downfall of them, corruption. And I don't think they're quite honest with us, the country and the people of this beautiful South Africa. I don't think they are quite honest with us, if you ask me. And then DA. Yeah, some will argue, say DA is doing good in Cape Town and all that. But let's take a deep dive in the Western Cape, because that's where their point of reference is also, which is the Western Cape. So, my point is that, excuse me, the Western Cape, yeah, if it happens that DA wins the elections, I'm sure we're gonna be looking at the South Africa that's like Western Cape in every aspect. I'm saying in every aspect. Maybe, I think what they would do, they would run the cities to their utmost best. They would, I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's what they would do. That's what they would really focus on, other than focusing on the rural areas and the townships. I think if the DA wins, the township, the cities and the towns will flourish, but the rural areas and the townships would suffer. Why am I saying that? Let's take a look at Western Cape today. Western Cape, the Cape Town, like the city, I don't want to lie to you, it's clean, and the police visibility is everywhere, securities and all that you see them every corner, which is, it's good. But now let's go to the other part of the Western Cape, the townships. The townships, it's bad. That's where everything is happening. Drugs. What is they doing to deal with the drug problem in Western Cape? What is they doing to deal with the violence, taxi violence, gun problems? You know, there's a lot that's happening in Cape Town, of which I think it's only because the DA government has neglected the people that are staying in those areas. If they were looking after them, I don't think the situation would have escalated to where it is today. But that's just my opinion. And then let's come to MK. Yeah, MK, it's a new party, of which it was registered around September. They started their registration in July, but it was officially registered in September. But no one knew about MK September, October, November, up until 16th of December last year, 2023, when the former president Jacob Zuma announced that he won't be campaigning nor voting for the ANC, but he'll be campaigning and voting for the MK party, but he will still be the member of the ANC. Now, let's say, for argument's sake, MK wins the elections. Who's gonna be the president? They will say Mr. Jacob Zuma, maybe. But as that party, as I'm sitting here today, I don't know the structure of that party. Who's the president, who's the deputy president, who's the SG, who's like all those things. I think we don't know for sure. I don't know for sure, but if they do win, what's gonna happen if they start fighting for positions as the leading party in the country? Because at the moment, I don't remember that they have structures in place. What's gonna happen to us, the South African people, when they start fighting for positions in that party? That's my worry. And them, are they not gonna be like COPE? What's gonna happen if they don't win? Sorry, what's gonna happen when they win and then they cannot, it happens that they cannot put Mr. Jacob Zuma as a president? Then what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Like, those are the questions that I have. And then if it's not Mr. Jacob Zuma that will be the president, who might be the president of this country? Because there are high possible chances that Mr. Jacob Zuma cannot be the president again, according to IEC and the criminal charges that he's currently facing. So that's another worry that I have with EMK. Now, there's another big gun in South Africa, which is the EFF. Most people, they hate EFF for speaking the truth, but whenever they've got problems, personal problems, being racially abused, discriminated, they always hashtag EFF. EFF, please help me, I've got this and this and this and this. Okay, that's fine. But most people, they hate EFF because of its border policy and the foreign policy and all that. But for a second, let's put that aside. Let's just forget about that for a second. Who would be a better president of this country if it's not Julius Malema and the EFF? That's if we forget about the differences we have. Because the guy, the ideas he have, they would move this country forward. Just take a look at their manifesto. They'd move this country forward. Okay, let me try and deep dive on their border policy. Today, there's a lot of people that are the victims of unregistered foreign people in South Africa, undocumented. Today, with the borders, right? So my question is, what would really happen if we open the borders, as the AFF is proposing? We open the borders. What is that can happen that's not happening today? If you think about it, really, truly think about it, nothing, because everything is happening. Do we talk about drugs? They are here. with the borders. Human trafficking is happening with the borders in place. But the only problem is that we cannot hold everyone accountable for this, because we cannot recognize them if they happen to be arrested. But I believe if the borders are open, and we use one ID system, it doesn't matter where you are in Africa, will always be the same person. Because you cannot go from South Africa to Nigeria and change the name, because when you put your thumbprint, they will tell you that, okay, this is so and so and so from South Africa, because we'll be using one system now to identify people. But now we're not using one system. That's why I think this is my personal opinion. I think that's why people now, it's easy for them to just go from other country to another country, and then come into the other country undocumented, and then you try and forge your way around, and then try to get the new name, and then you get the new banking system, bank cards and all that. That's why it's easy to manipulate, because these countries, they're not interlinked with each other. So that's why I think that's why it's so easy for anyone to manipulate this system. And some people argue, say, okay, but EFF doesn't have experience. EFF was part of the governing parties for Ekurhuleni, for eThekwini, for and so and so and so. Yes, but they were not the only party that was leading the coalition. So we don't really know how they will really do if we give them that power to lead and be the main country, be the main party to lead the country. But I think they would do just great. They would do just great, because those guys, they've got brains. You can see when they speak. You can see when they interact with people. Like, let's give whoever we decide to give a chance. You see the EFF, you see the DA, you see the MK, but let's try and make our power work for us as the majority. If this person, whoever you're going to be voting for, now we say, okay, it's either EFF, it's either DA, it's either MK. If they're not delivering, or we don't see a progress or promises, or like, no, not like real like promises, like, okay, we're going to do this, like we don't see a change in the 5 years, we allow to just chop and change them, vote them out, bring someone else new in, and then if they also not doing what they promised us to do, we also change them. But again, let's have this in mind. If these guys, we give them 5 years and we see a small change in that 5 years, I think we can give them another 5 years to go forward. But let's not find ourselves with another ANC in that parliament, and go with who works for us as the majority of the people, as the majority of this country. That's all, guys. I'd like to urge everyone to please subscribe, like and share this video, and please, guys, I need your help to grow this channel. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you.